Hey, Internets. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about Daredevil, Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2, Resurrection, and Please.
He is a lawyer, though, so maybe it's please.
Maybe it's... Oh, okay. Right. I think there's an E on the end, but maybe not. I don't know. And, as we jump into this, we should mention that there's some news, Netflix-wise, where Netflix has canceled both Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Iron Fist you could kind of see coming, perhaps, because the first season nobody liked, and the second season, while supposedly better, nobody watched, theoretically. I mean, a lot of people watched the first season, apparently, but I'm not sure the numbers were there for the second season. Anyway, it was probably the least appreciated of the Netflix superhero things. But Luke Cage is a little more, it came off the second season. They kind of set an interesting, controversial ending there where it's like, oh, are they going to take a darker turn with this guy? What's going to happen? And now it's out.
Yeah, apparently the showrunner of the first two seasons had pitched a third season, and Netflix didn't really want it. So I don't know why they didn't either negotiate to get a different showrunner, but maybe that would take more time. But then you would just say it's, we don't know when it's going to happen or something, So it's interesting. I mean, it's a question of whether or not, the fact that Disney's going to start their own channel and have their TV shows.
They've got Loki, they've got Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, which are obviously pulling from the cinematic universe.
Sure.
So it's a question of whether or not those can be handled by the same person who's handling the TV shows.
So you feel like there's a chance that Disney might be pulling these over, like maybe gave Netflix money and they're going to say, well, let's take Luke Cage over to our...
I'd be shocked if they let go these properties. I'm just curious about whether or not, because they decided not to do them, whether or not they would be open for Disney to do their own shows. Now, they might not be inclined to want to do them. I don't know.
Gotcha. It is
I think it's an open question.
It was. It's interesting to see now that Daredevil season 3 has dropped.
Yes.
We know that there is I think it's already filmed, a Jessica Jones season 3.
I guess I've heard that.
And there's a Punisher season 2 that's already been filmed. But like, for instance, I guess it's possible. I wouldn't think it, but it's possible that you could find in the next couple of weeks. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're done with Daredevil 2. I don't know. I mean, like they're just like cashing out.
Right.
I don't know, but hopefully not.
No, and after when the head, I think, of Netflix was being interviewed about, it was only after the Iron Fist announcement that they were saying how they're still committed to that. So
Now, so one angle could be this Heroes for Hire angle. That maybe instead of their own individual shows, they have a show where the two of them are together, or maybe more likely they bring them in. Let's say you have a Daredevil season 4, and maybe there's an episode where they're like, "I need some help. I'll call in the two guys from farther down the street."
Well, and then it becomes a question of whether that's just Defenders.
Right. Yeah, Defenders Light.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's some interesting times there with Netflix and Marvel, and I was kind of looking forward to seeing where they were going to take the Luke Cage character in the next season, and they had a good villain, I thought, in that, and he wasn't dead.
No, he wasn't.
So anyway, it'd be a shame if that was the end of the Luke Cage story, but so be it. We're here talking Daredevil, so here we go, Daredevil. We get a bit of it kind of picks up almost in some ways right where Defenders leaves off.
Well, yeah, because they left him in a bed, right? So
so in other words, the building, Midland Circle, blew up on top of him. He fell into a drain pipe and got washed out, and was alive just enough to say the name of the take me to church. Father Lantham, and then there's a really nice taxi driver who, good on him.
Yep.
He didn't just take the guy to the cops.
No.
He didn't, call the local hospital. He's like, I'm going to honor this man's probably dying wish and take him to a church instead. So he gets taken to Father Lantham. and begins recuperating along with Sister Maggie. So, first episode is a lot of him physically recuperating and emotionally being depressed.
Right.
I would say.
Yes. Yeah, because his hearing is impacted. He can't hear really out of his right ear, I guess. So that affects how his abilities.
I liked the bit where it was a flashback in some ways to, I guess, season 1, where we had the bit where as a kid he suddenly he went blind and he's like, I can't see.
Right.
I can't see.
Yes.
And so it was the adult version of him saying, because his hearing was off, he's like, I can't see. I can't see. But through my ears.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting little duality there. I liked. So yeah, he's so hurt and injured. There's a chance at this point, in his mind at least, that he will not be able to be Daredevil again.
Yes.
And meanwhile, you've got Karen and Foggy. Karen is still clinging to the idea that he might be alive.
Yes.
Because she's brilliant, apparently. Because she's right.
Yes.
And she's like,
well, she can feel it.
Right.
I'm not fond of that.
I sense the force.
That device. Now, here's my question for you, Mr. Rice.
I think I might know where this is going. Go ahead.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how annoyed were you with Foggy?
It was Foggy. Yeah, I was gonna bring this up. You know what? I'm not annoyed. I'm not as annoyed by Foggy in episodes 1 and 2. I'll say that. Foggy, the annoyance factor for me, way down.
Yeah, I think a number of I feel like in both seasons of the show, there were dramatic things that the show did that they tamped down this season.
Okay, in what way?
Besides I'm Foggy and I'm worried about everything, so I'm going to, kind of fret, which, you could argue he's feels guilty in this episode.
He does feel guilty, but guilty versus fretting.
He feels guilty for going against his. What are you doing, Daredevil or Matt? You're crazy to be running out there and doing this. And in the Defenders, he here's a costume.
Yeah, he gave him his costume, and so he feels bad because he
feels bad about that.
He encouraged Matt to, eventually get fallen on.
But he sort of expresses it, and it doesn't. He's not putting a lot of energy into his. Oh no, I'm the one who did it. And when he's discouraging her from thinking that Daredevil's alive. Or Matt's alive, he's not, again, putting a lot of energy into it. It's tapped down, I felt.
I got you.
So I could...
it's more of a somber grief as opposed to a...
what are you crazy? Why are you... Blah, blah, blah. He's not like that.
In fact, when Karen says to him, and he's like, I feel guilty because I gave him the suit. She's like, he would have gotten the suit anyway. And he's like, yes, I do know that. So, yeah, he's not like, no, you're wrong. The only reason he died is because I did a thing. I take responsibility. Anyway, so Karen is trying to pay the rent on Matt's place as well as her own, and she's behind on the rent now. She's going to get evicted.
Right.
So Foggy's like, fine, we'll split the rent 1 more month.
But
one more very important month. Probably they'll just not find out that he's alive, and then they'll just shut the place down, and they'll never pay again.
What do you mean? We've seen this episode.
Yeah, good point. Oh, whoops.
Where she's like, what? Someone in a mask?
Someone in a mask beat a guy up?
Yeah, that's
all right. Daredevil's back.
That sounds like Matt to me.
He's back. And she's right, so she's brilliant. So Karen and Foggy are both grieving, but are at least partially of the mind that Matt might still be around. And so
the other thing was, what if he was alive? Wouldn't he contact us?
Yeah, which is true.
Which that's the moment where they potentially could go overboard with their anger at him.
That's true. When he shows up, eventually he's going to show up.
Yes.
So for him to come back and go, hey everybody, and like, why didn't you die?
Yeah.
I hate you. Go away.
Yes, yeah.
Here's your suit. Right. So at the moment they're not angry at him; they're just sad for him.
Yes.
And We also then are introduced to an FBI agent, Ray Nadeem, who is a family man. He's paying for his sister's chemo, I think.
Yeah, I think they said that.
And it's kind of basically they're bankrupt practically.
Yes.
They're really, really out of it.
Yes.
The FBI, his boss knows his credit score.
So one of the things that's interesting, makes you wonder about how it actually operates in real life. So I'm not going to give you a raise because you're in financial trouble and you will be a target for,
Catch 22.
Yes, exactly. Like, don't they have some sort of help for people in that situation?
Well, you're in financial straits. You know what it would help that? A raise. We're not going to give it to you because you're in financial straits. All right. Anyway, good talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope you don't go out there and find someone to give you money to commit crimes.
Yeah, but and by the by, completely unrelated, go talk to Kingpin.
Yeah.
He might have something to tell you. So you see where that's going right away. And of course, and Kingpin decides to spill the beans on these Albanians, and at least what we hear is that it's all out of love for Vanessa.
Yes.
That he's worried that Vanessa is going to take the fall for his crimes.
Yes.
And so in order to keep her safe, he's going to spill the beans. Now, I have a hard time believing it's all altruistic from the Kingpin's point of view. I mean, do I believe he loves Vanessa? Yes.
Yes.
Do I think all of this is done for that reason alone? No. Just saying, I feel like there's ulterior motives. I mean, it's not going to hurt Kingpin to basically, get out of prison, for instance. It's a win-win for him. I help Vanessa, and I also help myself. Yeah,
right.
no?
Well, they're not proposing that he gets released from prison. They're just saying that where you will be nicer from where you are currently.
Yeah.
But,
I also kind of wonder, and I could be wrong on this, but I kind of wonder if it's all just an accident, that the guy who really needs a lot of money happens to be paired with Wilson Fisk on this day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe Wilson Fisk has been somehow manufactured it so that I'm going to meet with that guy.
It's certainly possible. I did feel like, hey, you're having these troubles, and we can't help you, but here.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying it could be that down the road we find out that it was manufactured in some way.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
I mean,
also I'll say this. Each season I've got a guy. I pick a guy that I think like that guy's not going to survive the season. So far, I've been pretty right. I think I might be batting 1,000 on my predictions if I just pick one person.
Oh yes, there are times when you picked other people and they've survived.
Okay.
So
all right,
your second.
All right, so maybe I'm not betting against. Okay, fine.
No, you're
all
not.
Right, so I'm just going to pick one person that I think will not survive this season, and that's Ray Nadeem. I think Ray Nadeem. He's like, I'm an altruistic FBI guy trying to do right. And but I have money problems. It's probably going to make me do some kind of a corrupt decision. And I'm hanging out with the Kingpin, like on a show where people die, which they do. On Daredevil.
They do die. Yeah, they die.
I feel like he's in real trouble. Good luck. I mean, I hope. Come on, Ray. Prove me wrong. Get through 13 episodes. He's gotten through 2.
That's true.
Or did he? I don't know. In some ways. We'll find out in episode 3, but they did say like everyone died in the cars. So I think he's still alive, but you could almost make the case. I mean, everybody died except for.
That'd be strange to set that up, even if it's just for 2 episodes, and then kill him.
I agree. There was a lot. They spent a lot of time on a guy that they were just going to be like, and he's fodder.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're jumping ahead there, but we'll jump back real fast. All right, so episode 1, Matt. Mad at the world, mad at God.
Yeah.
Basically, he's got a thing of like, look, I thought I got these gifts from God as a way to help people. Like I could hear people confessing, and with their problems, and then I can go help those people. Yeah. If I can't hear them now, screw you, God. And so, obviously he's hanging out at the basement of a church. He's got all these statuary around him. At some point, he does the little neti pot thing and like.
Oh yeah, neti pot. I was trying to think of what the name for that was.
Spits the blood out, and that's what's been blocking his hearing, I guess. And so now he can hear again.
Now I can hear.
He can touch things and hear subways. There are 8 subways currently traveling. 2 of them are beneath me now.
Driven by someone who has skin cancer.
Yeah. Oh, wait. There's a man with 4 buttons on his jacket. Three buttons and 1 fake button that he sewed on. All right. So he starts doing the training montage.
Yes.
Push-ups. Tita-pata. Takes a bag of laundry, punching it. He even encourages, he gets Father Lantom and Sister Maggie to hire a boxer to come and box him.
Yeah.
That doesn't go well for him. I mean,
well
enough, I guess.
Yeah.
He can stand with the guy for a while, and then he gets beaten up. Yeah. His ear starts going weird again.
Yep.
Interesting that that Father Lantom would agree to that. Like he's kind of like, oh, okay, fine.
Well, they know he's Daredevil.
Yes, and they do know he's Daredevil. Good point. There's no doubt about that at this point.
No doubt.
A lot of people know he's Daredevil.
A lot of people.
It's considering he and Spider-Man are probably the 2 masked heroes still in the MCU. A lot of people know that Daredevil's Daredevil.
Yes, it's true.
It's starting to become needless to wear the mask. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, but
except that
right. No, there's
still a blind guy. It's like the best you could, if you could do anything to keep him communicating. Hey, I'm blind. Like, oh, maybe I have a shot.
So yes, we know from the comics. I haven't read all of the Born Again storyline, but spoiler alert: in the comics, Maggie's his mom, and I feel like that's the case here too. That it seems it's not 100% obvious.
I was going to ask about that because I have not read those storylines either, and I was starting to think like, is that the type of character who would be his mother?
Well, she's already given hints just in these first 2 episodes. 1, she went to watch his dad box.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she has a personal connection to the dad.
You're right.
And she says, and there was a time when I could have made another decision and it would have made a different turn in my life, but I didn't make that decision and I came back to the nunnery. Like, okay, I know what that decision was. Should I raise this kid I just had?
Well, the answer should have been yes.
Apparently it should have. You create a psychopath. Great. No, good on you. Hope you enjoy that. But their conversations are pretty interesting. I like their relationship.
Yeah, I like the actress who's playing her. I think it's well done. I mean, like the points where, atheist here, where...
Atheists here. 2 atheists talking about the religious metaphors in Daredevil. Okay, great.
It's just it's a little strange there to obviously it's very important to the character of Matthew, but and his mother. But we'll see.
Well, this assuming she is his mom in the Netflix, there's going to be a huge revelation moment that will not be well received.
Probably not.
Right? She still hasn't told him.
No.
Like, I get that I assume gave him up for adoption or put him into the foster home or whatever. He was raised in this orphanage.
Yes.
So she condemned him to an orphanage. Well, I guess because the dad died.
Yeah.
The dad's going to raise him. Okay.
Right.
But all that time after he was in the orphanage, she didn't come get him or anything like that. No. All this time has passed. She never told him. No. She's now nursing him back to health and hasn't told him. She's going to tell him, I feel like, somewhere in the next 9 episodes or whatever. Well, and when she does...
someone else might end up telling him.
That's true. But however he finds out,
yes,
he will not take the news well.
Probably not.
I think that will be another split, perhaps, between him and maybe the church.
Perhaps.
Or at least, certainly with her in some ways, that she's going to have to mend that.
Maybe the the reverend the priest was responsible for that. I don't know.
Father Lantom.
Yeah.
Not that he needs more of a split with the church, because at this point he's like, what's the line where Father Lantom? I like this bit. So he's talking to Father Lantom, and he's like, maybe this, God didn't make me Daredevil. Maybe this Daredevil thing wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't a gift from God. Mm-hmm. And Lantom's like, yeah, maybe you should stop doing it. Like, Like, yeah, good point. You know, like maybe it's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stop doing the thing where you go around punching people in the face. And he kind of dismisses it, and he says like, no, like, I'm Daredevil, and not even God can stop me. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
You had to say that line?
Yeah, oh, that was reminding me of the things that I was like, you know, this whole I'm the devil, or the devil, let the devil out. It's like a little too on the nose for me.
It is on the nose. And in any time, hero or villain, anybody says, not even God can stop me, you're like, all right, well, that guy's going to get a comeuppance. And so there's comeuppances happening
Yes.
on the road there.
Yes, there are.
So yeah, that's kind of his state of mind. He gets well enough after doing the boxing thing and getting in shape that he decides to take his talents back on the road, and he puts on a black outfit and goes out, hears a crime in progress, and stops said crime.
Yes.
Saves a woman and her father, which come into play later. But he's not good enough to be able to take out the would-be kidnappers, I guess they are. I don't know what they are, muggers. Anyway, they're starting to beat the crap out of him.
Yes.
And there's an interesting moment there where he's like, fine, kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, where they'd sort of given up on him because they'd beaten him up. And then he throws him the pipe to, here, hit me with the pipe and kill me.
Yeah. So I guess in that moment, he's like, if I can't be Daredevil, I'd just rather die. I don't know what to be post-Daredevil.
Yeah.
If I don't have the physical gifts to be able to do the Daredevil stuff, I don't want to be old man Daredevil, basically. Like, I don't want to be...
Old man attorney.
Right. Yeah, good point.
No, that wouldn't be a life worth living.
Yeah, right.
Just being an attorney and helping people.
Right. Nope.
No.
Nope. If I can't do
Kill
a
me.
spinning back kick
Kill me.
and a roundhouse you to the face,
No. Yeah, that's the real help.
hit me with a pipe. Take me out. They don't get the chance to take him out. The cops show up.
Yes.
And so, well, just to extend that story out, the woman whose father was saved by Matt, she happens to be like a celebrity. She's a reality TV celebrity, is what I got out of it. She's on some show, like Heiresses of Manhattan or something like that. Anyway, and so Karen is sent to do a story on her. That's why Karen's sent to do the story, because it's like, oh, here's a somewhat famous person that had a mugging.
I see.
So when she's doing the story, she finds out, oh yeah, my dad was saved by this guy in a mask. And she's like, what? In New York? And so anyway, but yes, she rightly makes the connection.
That's right.
She's brilliant.
You know, it's like, hey, it's like, was he sticking to walls? She didn't think to ask that question. Did he have a bunch of arrows? No, she didn't ask that question.
Was it a mech suit with a mask?
Yeah.
Did he have a shield?
Yep.
Anyway, so she then conveys that information to Foggy. Foggy's like, man with a mask? That could be anybody. He's playing the role of us in that moment.
See, that's what you finally...
That's right. I'm like, all right, Foggy. Well, he also has an interesting bit there where he goes and visits his family.
Yes.
And it's what, Thanksgiving or something, I think? That's what I got out of it. I think it's some holiday, and it's not Christmas. But
no, it's not Christmas.
Christmas would be more on the nose. Probably there'll be a Christmas coming up
I
later.
wonder, though, one thing they were talking about, I think, was Irish heritage. So I think it may have been related to Irish culture.
Okay. All right. Anyway, there's a big get-together
Yes.
at the butcher shop that Foggy's dad runs.
Yeah.
And you get a quick idea. Foggy's dad is getting older. His hands are shaking, and he's dealing with a bunch of knives. And his wife is really worried about him. Like, I don't think he's really cut out for. In some ways, it's the Daredevil thing, right? He's getting too old to do this thing he loves doing. And so it's a passing of the torch. Foggy does have a brother who has stepped in to take over the shop, but Foggy was always going to be that guy. He was like, the family was like, Foggy will be the new butcher guy. And then he went off and became, well, I think until he went off to school.
Right.
That was the plan, I think.
Yes.
And so, but obviously Foggy's there and he's all coiffed and he's got his suit. And he's in a different social strata now than the family.
Yes, he is.
And the family's being nice.
Yes.
They're all like, hey, that's cool, we can handle it.
Yep.
But there's also this, you can tell Foggy's feeling more guilt. He's a guilty guy. He's guilty about giving the suit. He's guilty about going off and becoming a big shot lawyer and leaving the family behind.
Yep.
And I assume that will play out in some way as well. He's finding a pull back to his family. And that's kind of where they leave it, though. They don't extend that anywhere. Although, okay, if I had to guess where that's going, I would think we meet that family because then they're going to come under threat.
Oh.
From, say, Wilson.
So, so who's not going to make it out? Go for two.
Go for two.
No, you'll ruin my...
Foggy's brother. Look out, Foggy's brother. All right, I don't know. Anyway.
It's a father's one that's close to death.
Well, true. But he could just pass away.
Or hand could slip and he could kill his son.
Oh, God. That would be just horrible. But yes. Okay. So... so that's all happening.
0 for 0.
You're 0 for 0. Right. You're not making a Ray Nadeem. There's my one. Okay. So we'll throw this in too, just because this is the end of episode 2, because Wilson Fisk got shanked in prison. The FBI and Ray in particular are worried. Hey, our golden goose is going to get killed off before he can tell us stuff.
Yes.
So they decide, hey, we're going to give him like a house arrest thing. We're going to make his accommodations more private. So they're moving him to this private location, a safe house basically, and the Albanians attack. And so
Albanians attack.
And it's a cool scene because it's from Wilson Fisk's point of view. So he's in the car, and he's a guy that's not used to being helpless, and he's helpless in that moment. He's like, what do I do?
Actually, it reminded me a lot of, the first Iron Man.
And when he's in the convoy? Yeah, I hear you.
So, don't move!
Yeah, everybody gets killed. Stay in the car! And so everybody's dying around him until there's an FBI guy that shoots really well, who takes out all the Albanians and is like, stay in the car, convict, or something like that. That's obviously Bullseye. And so he's going to become a villain throughout their show. Somehow Wilson Fisk will corrupt him, basically. If he's not already corrupted, I don't know. But at the moment, he's an FBI guy that shoots well.
Yes.
So go get him.
Yes.
FBI guy who shoots well.
Yes.
What are some other things about these episodes that struck you, sir?
I can't think of anything.
So we obviously we're going to build to from the trailers you can see that Bullseye takes on the identity of Daredevil.
Yes, you can see that.
To ruin Daredevil's name.
Yes.
Probably on behalf of Wilson Fisk.
Probably.
So they're, basically it's Daredevil versus those two guys.
Yes.
And he's going to have to come to some kind of a, his own religious faith. There's going to be a religious faith thing, which we're really
Kingpin?
up on. What's that?
With Kingpin?
No, just with Daredevil himself. His own private
crisis
Catholicism
of faith.
fight.
Of course.
So anyway, there you go. Episodes 1, 2. There wasn't a whole lot of combat in this one. He goes back and fights. He finds the guys that he asked to kill him.
Yes.
And instead beats them up and leaves them to be arrested.
Yes.
He does then communicate that information to the celebrity woman. She's hanging out in the her dad's hospital room.
Yeah.
And Daredevil walks in and he's like, those guys that beat up your dad, they're at the police station under a different charge. You might want to go say something. And she says something like, thank God for you. And he's like, God didn't do it.
Yeah.
I did. God had nothing to do with it.
Right, he tells her that, because when he beat them up, he makes a call to say that, hey, I heard gunshots or something like that, and,
he
come
calls
check it out. Yeah. So then he's like, they're on a different charge, yes.
Yeah. But the whole thing of I'm not working for God.
Yes.
This is a me thing. Da da da. So
they could have taken that tack with the sequel to the Blues Brothers,
That's right. We're on a mission, not from God.
Yeah.
So yes, he will find his moral center, his gooey moral center.
Yes.
And I guess the idea is, will he kill somebody? I mean, right? No, isn't that kind of his thing? Like what keeps him from being a Punisher is I don't kill people. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right. I mean, not for lack of trying. So he's pretty violent with folks.
Yes, he is.
But so far, I don't know that he's killed.
Yeah, I don't know if
folks.
that's the.
Is that the line?
I don't know if that is the line.
What is the line that Daredevil doesn't cross?
I think he doesn't kill, but I don't think it's related to his,
like a code or something. Okay.
No, I think it's related to his sense of right and wrong. I think in terms of,
What's the line that Daredevil could cross that would make him no longer a hero?
Right.
If you have an answer to that, let us know.
It could be that. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the Central Crisis isn't just redevoting himself to, it seems like the thing that they're waiting for is just him to reconnect with his life. So presumably to become an attorney again and reconnect with Foggy.
He's going to talk to Foggy and Karen.
Presumably that. I mean, you think he would. It's like, as an attorney, you could still help people.
Right, exactly. There's a road, the post-vigilante road, which you assume he's going to have to hit eventually anyway, right? There will come a day.
There will come a day, presumably, yeah. But, in the meantime, just like, don't beat people up so much.
He also was mourning the loss of Elektra. I mean,
yes,
we assume she's dead.
Yes.
There's, anyway. Yeah. The evidence to the contrary. And so he's like waking up like, where's Elektra? Whatever. So he is also mourning that, I think. That was a love interest that is no longer there. Yeah. Oh, so we've been told there is a really cool fight in episode 4.
Yes, we've been told that.
So that's what we'll be doing 3 and 4 next.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably have a cool fight to talk about.
Yes.
So yeah, this one's a little more of a slow burn, I would say. We're backstorying our way through episodes 1 and 2.
Sure.
I did not mind that. I thought it was still engaging. A lot of conversations between Daredevil and his mom.
Yeah.
Which I thought were interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't rewatched the first 2 episodes of season 2, but I have rewatched the first 2 episodes of season 1, and I like the tone of this season, perhaps more than I liked in the first season.
Okay. In what? Is there a specific reason?
I mean, the thing that I said in terms of how I think there's just a slightly more subtlety in the writing and direction, actually, that I prefer.
Oh, right. They're not the Foggy being Foggy.
Yeah, it's not just Foggy being Foggy, but also Karen, and her, devotion to figuring out what's going on, and all the conversations about religion with the priest and his mother, who we believe is his mother, all that stuff, and even the stuff with Fisk, it's like, it's interesting to see him. I would have thought he would have been a lot more. We didn't have too much with him, like getting mad. It's like when he was attacked, he defended himself.
Right, and he didn't do the all-out kill shit.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
Because I think he's like, if I do that, that's one step too far, then I probably get put in some kind of solitary. But
probably,
I'll be the good guy here. There is one thing before we go. Wilson Fisk does have a monologue in the car right before the Albanians take him out, where he's like basically saying, "It doesn't really matter where you take me. I'm in a prison of love," basically. So only a supervillain would take prisoners of
blue
love.
Skies above, in chains.
Yes, see, he's singing that song.
Yes.
But yeah, so he equates his devotion to Vanessa as a prison that he can't escape from.
Yes.
And so that will be a theme, obviously, for him through the season, is going to be keeping Vanessa around. I assume Vanessa will show up at some point. I mean, she's not just going to be this off-screen thing that he cares about. I mean, can't be. Right?
Yeah, why not?
Well, what might be interesting is if she does show up and then it's like, yeah, actually, I don't really care for you. You're a psychopath, and I never really thought. Yeah, but I don't think they'll go that direction. But it would be interesting if they did. And he's like, "Wait, I loved you. Oh, this was all for naught." But okay, yeah. But I do feel like she's going to show up at some point.
I think you're right.
She's been referred to.
No, actually, I don't know that you're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know that you're right. She has been referred to. I'm not certain that you're right.
Oh,
We'll see.
okay.
I
You
like
don't
the
think
actress.
it just seems really weird if they would just be like, and she's safe in Italy somewhere,
Yeah.
and we'll never
And, they
never
killed
know.
her. Ah,
they killed her on
I
screen.
lost my
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I'm not sure, but maybe they will. Who knows?
Good luck, Ray. Let's see if we can get through episodes 3 and 4. We'll find out next time. So anyway, come on back. We'll see you next time, everybody.